Welcome back to another episode of We Roguelike It. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always over there is Moonpeer.
Hello.
And we're on week 3 of Caveblazers. 3 out of 4 weeks here, so we're sort of wrapping up our spelunking adventures. And boy, did I write a ton of notes this week.
Okay, I did a bunch of runs, but mostly I've only got a few notes, so you hit us off.
I have a lot of design problems with this game.
Okay.
I think at its core, let's compliment sandwich it. I think at its core,
No, you never compliment Sandwich. That's the worst thing you
I never
can do.
really do. I think so much of Caveblazers feels really good. I think the movement and the melee and usually the ranged attacks, I think that all feels really good. The actual playing of the game, the gameplay, if you will, feels really great. It's just so much around it frustrates me. Like, we talked about it last week, and I ran into it a bunch this week, where I do something in the game, do a challenge, and I unlock something. I unlock an icon.
You unlock a symbol. That's what
Right.
you unlock.
And it's not even like, if we compare it to something like The Binding of Isaac, where you complete something, or even Enter the Gungeon does this, you complete something and then it says, like, Enter the Gungeon, do something, you unlock Black Hole Gun. It's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know what that is.
It's clearly a gun that you will find at some point. It has appeared in the basement, so to speak.
Right. And I know what it looks like, and I know what the name is, and I'm excited because I'll remember that name when I pick it up. I'm like, oh, right, I unlocked that. Or, the rare case where you unlock something and then you pick it up on the next floor, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. I just unlocked that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
You don't get that in Caveblazers because I don't remember what that icon looks like. Is it like a Wi-Fi symbol with a sword going through it? Maybe. I don't know. Is that one of the blessings you pick up? Is that a rune you start with, a run with? Like, no idea.
Yeah, the only time I know when I've unlocked something like that is when it unlocks the perks, and it's like, you have unlocked this perk, and it's like, okay, I know what that is.
Right. And from an unlocking standpoint, it never feels good to level up your character and unlock a pair of pants.
Nope. Or a hat. I got a hat. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like you spent 2,500 XP, you unlocked a gray hat. It's like, that sucks, man. Like, that doesn't feel good at all.
No, and like, I look like Mario at the moment, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's not good enough.
Yeah, and like, I kind of dig you being able to change your character's look, and there's a ton of customization options there, but unlocking them like that is real bad.
Yeah, it has its issues. So far, I am completely middle of the road with regards to this. Like, it feels just derivative enough to where it's annoying, but just good enough to where it's actually playable.
Yeah.
Like, it's a difficult thing to try and put into words when it comes to talking about this. It's interesting, but is it interesting enough? Kind of thing.
Yeah, like, is it interesting? It's interesting, but is it good? Like, I think with a little bit more love on some of these systems, I think you could make a game that's really good. But, like, talking about unlocking stuff, have you tried the daily runs yet?
Nope.
So I tried a couple this week just to see what they're all about, and you go into the daily run door, and it pops up this thing and says, here's your starting equipment, and it's a bunch of icons. Here's your starting runes, and it's a bunch of icons. And it's just like, start run or back out. And it's like, I don't know what any of this stuff is, because as far as I've seen, there aren't multiple characters, so I don't have multiple. I can't remember, like, here's what the archer starts with, here's what the thief starts with, and the warrior. It's just sort of like, here's some icons to start out with. If you can tell what what my biggest complaint is this week. It might be icons.
Yeah, that's probably game's biggest problem is it doesn't tell you what you've earned unless it's clothes.
Right.
Like, yes, okay, I unlocked a pair of pants or a hat or any other kind of thing, but it doesn't tell you anything else. It doesn't say, yes, this is blank, this is whatever. It's just like, here is a symbol, have fun with that.
Right.
It's like, I don't know what any of that stuff means. I did have an absolute kill run, and I do have a new favorite perk. Okay. I don't know how many perks you've unlocked, but it's a great perk because for me, my new favorite one, it used to be the strong arm guy, like who starts with a whole bunch of bonus health.
Mm-hmm.
But my new favorite perk is the vampire perk.
Ooh.
You lose health at a rate of 1 every 4 seconds.
Okay.
You cannot eat food to regenerate health.
Okay.
Every time you kill an enemy, you get +2 health back.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's kind of like the speedrunners build, where it's designed to be used as like you've got to move quick, you've got to move fast through these levels, and it helps when you're finding additional perks that give you additional life drain. So like I ended up with a couple of runs with like other perks that give you like +3 health when you kill an enemy. So then I was getting +5, and it's forcing me to get better about like using the bow to kill the bats, because it's like I usually just hit them with my sword, but they usually hit me first.
Yeah.
So I'm getting better about taking care of them. I did have a couple of really good runs. I found the Crimson Blade, which is a sword that gives you health back when you kill people. And found a couple of really good items. One of them was the Imploder Bow.
Okay.
Which does damage based on your magic attack.
Interesting. Okay.
But it was so overpowered that I was literally, if it wasn't for the fact that I was running the vampire perk and running out of health, I probably could have had a great run. I got to the second set of stages, and as always, it feels like everything there is just so powerful.
Have you gotten to the third set of stages yet?
No.
So I had a really good run this time. I found the Ankh, which resurrects you with 50% health when you die, if you have it equipped.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of the laser eyeballs, so it shoots lasers at enemies. I had a melee weapon that, in the description, it said, hey, if you toss it on the altar, it upgrades this weapon, but it destroys the altar. So I was like, that's fine, I don't really care. So I upgraded that, and I kept finding...
Was it the scythe? Like the cowbell scythe or whatever it's called?
No. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was just a fairly regular sword. I've seen a couple items that have had that description. And I got a couple of purple potions, which in that run increased my melee damage by 2. So I breezed through the first boss, and then did okay on the second boss. And the second boss only dropped 1 health item and 1 buff. And it's like, what the hell, man? Like, you're supposed to drop more the deeper I get in. And then on the 5th stage, I ran into these eyeball turrets that shoot way faster than they really should be able to, and I got completely destroyed.
Have you started bumping into the cave trolls on level 1 yet?
Yeah, the really big purple guys?
Who throw bombs.
Yeah, those guys are not fun.
Nope.
Like, those and those little red demons are not great.
I hate the demons. I hate the demons so much.
Their shield is rough.
Yes. I did find another bow. I didn't write the name down of it, but it made me laugh because it was a bow that... I can't remember what game it's taken it from, but it was a bow where it does very minimal direct damage, but if you hit ceilings, it drops 5 projectiles down on them. So it was very much like Worms. That's where I've seen this before.
Oh, like Worms cluster bombs?
Yes, where like if you hit the ceiling, it then arcs outwards all of these different projectiles onto enemies below it.
Right.
Which when you have the vampire perk, you get rewarded based on damage. Like for bosses, you get health back for damaging them rapidly. So there's one boss where I was just firing the bow at the ceiling and then just raining hellfire down. It was like, you hit me for 10, I hit you, and regenerate 20. So go away. Thank you very much, stupid boss. That stupid spider.
Oh, the one where there's like that platform and he has the little pokey legs. Yeah, I don't like that one. That's a tough boss.
Yes.
Have you run into the stone guy with the 2 hands?
I haven't yet, no.
That's a run ender for me.
I run into the skull guy who fires homing missiles at you. Like, he's got a circle of homing missiles around him and just fires homing missiles.
The purple skull that, like, vomits purple. Yeah, I have a big problem with that boss because it's a 2-phase boss. So you get through it and you kill him, and then he spawns these 2 orbs that also fire at you that have their own health bar. It's like, come on, I struggled through the first part. Like, I can't keep going.
Please give me a break.
Right. Yeah. Caveblazers. I feel like Caveblazers is a good game. And I don't
know if I would say good.
I think I like it enough that I wish it was better. Like, I wish they spent a little bit more time or like put out some more patches to rebalance some of this stuff, because I feel like for most people that are going to pick up this game, I feel like they're going to fight a couple of bosses and not keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I feel right now.
Yeah.
I think it's different. It's hard. It's a hard game to talk about because honestly, I don't know. I'm sure we'll get to it with when it comes to eventually ranking it, but right now I'm so torn.
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like when we run into games that are a rough experience, like it doesn't play well, it doesn't look well, it has all these problems, and sort of like, yeah, this was a bad game. But Caveblazers looks good, it has good music, it plays well, the controls are tight, like it has a lot going for it. But it's really hard. Like, it's just, it feels unfair a lot of the times, and it's not even like, you and I are clearly getting better the more we're playing, and during the week, I usually probably play it for about an hour a day, and it's just a tough game, and it doesn't feel like I've gotten over that hump where it's sort of like, all right, now I know enough about the game, and I'm starting to get proficient. And I'm starting to think I'm never gonna get over it. And that doesn't feel great.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, to be honest. Again, we've still got another week with it. We'll see if it changes, but the rating for this one is going to be interesting.
Yes. Yeah. All right, well, that's our episode this week. We'll see everyone next week for our last week of Caveblazers. Bye.
Bye.